Stephen Gill's radio show.
On Rumble, how are we all today? Hope everyone is well. Thought I'd do a podcast, enjoy a cigar right now, and get my thoughts on today's. What I saw today with Donald Trump, and I'm trying to open this thing and I can't open it. With Donald Trump on Dr. Phil, it was really inspiring. What I saw today as well. So, okay. Switch that torch off. Yeah, so what I saw and what was very inspiring for me watching the interview was just how Dr. Phil was able to with Donald Trump, the non-campaigning Donald Trump, right? It's about 8:53 p.m. on this Saturday night on this long weekend. As I woke up this morning, and then I thought I'd just send a quick post to Instagram for an update to all my followers. So I did that, and and when I saw this interview, it really changed my thinking, basically. Because Dr. Phil, you don't see Dr. Phil talking politics. When was the last time Dr. Phil ever spoke politics? Hardly ever. Probably the last time was during the beginning of the pandemic when he said the Democrats, it was going to be a political football game. Democrats blame the Republicans. Republicans blame Democrats for the virus. But he was more concerned about what it's done to the mental health. That's true. I agree with him. COVID-19 has affected me and my life very bad. But seeing that Dr. Phil has taken the time out of his his profession as a psychologist and gone down to the border guards and done an investigation to the US border and seen illegal immigrants crossing in illegally, and there's children, underage adults, and children going into illegal prostitute rings because they just don't know what to do with them, or giving them slave labor. It's gotten much worse since Joe Biden got elected. The guy clearly can't do his job. Pretty much. Ooh, that feels good. And I look at it like this. It seems to me, when I was an undergraduate student doing a Bachelor of Music, this was around 2016, I was studying at the Australian Institute of Music. In classical, I was doing clarinet. Quite a few of my lecturers, they were very anti-Trump. You'd hear them in a lecture, they didn't like Trump. That's okay, not everyone does. I didn't really like George Bush either. Well, what good did he do? He was only going on about war all the time. But when you watch, I recommend all the Democrat voters, Labor voters to watch this. You get to see Donald Trump looks very just worn out of all the shit that he's got to put up with in the media. Always twisting the words out of everything. Basically taking things out of context that, he'll say something, but then they twist the truth. The media, CNN's been doing that for years. They have. I mean, didn't you know that? The left-wing media hates Trump. And Dr. Phil asked him a question. He said, why do you still do it if you're putting up with this? But he answered him straight up. He didn't do what a lot of politicians do, not answering the question up front. He was honest. You can watch by Dr. Phil's face, just as to, from a psychologist's point of view, like he was listening to Trump. And Dr. Phil asked the question, typical psychologist questions they ask. I mean, he can suss people out very quick. He can tell if you're lying. He knows. But from what I saw from Donald Trump today was honesty, was a man that wants to make America great again. And there's proof that he did a lot of good. I was told a lot of bullshit for the last 4 years and all the crap that I was getting told about how Donald Trump's racist. The African Americans don't like him. But there are African Americans, black people, who do support him. It seems to me that Democrat voters are now looking to possibly vote Donald Trump. Joe Biden's just fucked everything up. The guy doesn't care, and he will do everything in his can in his power to try and shut down the Republican Party. At least in Australia, it's not that bad. It's not as bad with the Labor government. You don't really hear of all this cooked up charges to a politician, although there have been politicians in Australia, Labor and Liberal, that have done jail time. But for a man who's willing to give up his salary of 140,000. He's a millionaire, by the way. I mean, he's got real estate, businesses. And I look at it like, if he's willing to give his money away, I think in America, they can't just give up the salary. They have to donate it to either the military or a government non-profit organization. So he's willing to. He was like, didn't even want to get his salary, but he still does. And the amount of abuse, bullying from the left-wing media, they've even gone to attack his kids, bringing his kids involved. And this has happened to Dr. Phil. I cannot stand it when celebrity gossip magazines bring their kids involved. The Daily Telegraph's done it with quite a few athletes, David Warner especially. It pisses me right off. Getting these kids and wife involved, media as well. Although Daily Telegraph, of course, is right-wing and they are supporting Trump, same as Fox. Half the bullshit you read out there online, the fake news, was being spoken for years, and yet they didn't care. And then pretty much put down, or because you are a Republican supporter, okay, I feel that Donald Trump is the only way out of this, and I reckon he's the only president that can fix everything up. Barack Obama was much better than Biden, okay? Bill Clinton, I would admit, was better than Biden. Biden's had 3 failed election attempts too. Although, what, Bill Clinton and the Epsteins, clearly the war in Ukraine has gone to shit. Either Joe Biden's pissed off these powerful leaders like Vladimir Putin as well, and now you've got this war with Russia and Ukraine. Obviously, cost of living too. Dr. Phil did talk about that and how it's affected mental health, because how do you say to your children, well, we can't afford to go, I don't know, on our holiday because, we've got food to pay for. Petrol, of course, has gone up. The inflation, again, Biden's caused it. Also, the invasion of Ukraine. This trial was a waste of time. It was a waste of time on the justice system. Okay. It's for such a corrupt judge to get these jury people who are clearly on the left and only doing it to not only destroy Donald Trump politically, but destroy him emotionally. His personal life's been affected. A man who's mentally tough to put up with it. A lot of, even Scott Morrison was having mental health problems as Prime Minister, and he was, I think, on antidepressants because this is what the job takes. Okay. I just want to relax and have a cigar and chill, because I just get fed up. I'm trying. I do get overwhelmed by journalism as well. Can be overwhelming, so that's why I didn't bother reading any news today. Not only that, my head was just, when your brain is just tired and it's so much full of information. Yeah. It pretty much is. But I thought I will take time out from it and know that America now is in a dark time, a dark place. spiritually, economically. Everything's just gone to shit. Unfortunately, the president is powerful and does affect the whole world. So I think people are starting to wake up now, and look, and that's fine. You can vote Labor, Liberal, whatever you want. We've seen it with Anthony Albanese, stuffed everyone. The cost of living crisis as well, it's pissed everyone off. Of course it has, and it does affect mental health. Shrinkflation, deflation, inflation, stagflation, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. So, I mean, you can be a Christian, Jewish, Jehovah's Witness, Mormon, Muslim in politics, but the way I see politics is if you have good intentions for the country, you want to do best for the country. That's all that just matters. It's just being a good person. And we've seen it now where there is a lot of politicians actually lying constantly. People backstabbing. I've had people backstab me as well, do things behind my back without telling me. And yeah, and well, look, I've had people betray me behind my back. But for me, it's not about revenge. And this was interesting. The topic of revenge was asked by Dr. Phil. And it's very interesting how he sees this from a psychological point of view. Because to be a psychologist is not an easy profession. You have to, in my opinion, have a special gift. Because you're dealing with the human mind that you can't see. Same with, I recommend everyone to watch it. I watched it on Rumble. Dr. Phil has got his own, I think it's prime time. It's talking about all this with Israel and Hamas war going on. You see, like I said, just got fed up with being told what to think. Other people telling me who I should be voting for, who I should support. The LGBTQ community's just gotten out of control, wanting men to dress up as women to play against women in sport, which is not fair. The other way around, women dress up as and say that they're a man, but really they're a woman, but you can't speak out against it. But I'm going to, and I'm going to say straight up, it doesn't make sense, and it's just not fair. Just stupid laws like this. Free speech at risk. I mean, free speech, freedom of speech is sort of buried. No one ever talked about it. If you had free speech views, they would point the finger at you like Facebook. I don't give a shit about that platform anymore. And a lot of these big CEOs, Bill Gates, Richard Branson from Virgin Airlines, Mark Zuckerberg. They can fuck off. All the shit that they've done. And them too have gotten involved in politics, YouTube especially. I mean, unfortunately, YouTube does not want to sync with Rumble anymore. You'd have to ask them why. Democrat lawyers involved in this case of the Trump trial, using fear and intimidation tactics, bullying, silent tactics, trying to psychologically manipulate people, threatening people at times, saying, if you don't vote the left, we'll put you in jail. Or, I mean, come on. Where the hell have we gotten in America, Australia, the whole world's gotten to become like this as a society where, we're all caring about climate change and carbon emissions, and we want to be net zero and all this bullshit. I mean, that to me, see, I always found, even when I didn't pay attention to politics back in my younger life, cost of living was much easier under the Liberals, even under Donald Trump. Gas prices were, I think he got it down to, what, at one time, was it at least 40 cents or $1 a litre? You know, you give it possibly another 5 years, it could go up to $5 a litre. Fuck off, I don't want to pay that. Food as well. Tobacco, alcohol. And the Reserve Bank of Australia is sitting in Sydney, and you got homeless people on the streets who can't afford a place and a roof over their head. And I looked at moving out because I have ambitions, but unfortunately it's, comes down to the cost of living because the rent just keeps going up. I mean, so someone tell me why that this has happened, and how we can get out of this situation, how we can get out of this shit that we're in right now. Because tonight I just felt called to just do this podcast, not just for the sake of creating content, but for the sake, I just need to just do a show on this Saturday night. You know, I was doing some gaming before, and I thought, look, I've had enough gaming for today. We need to talk these issues that are going on right now. In America, because it is very sad indeed as to the outcomes that have gotten, and I'm very disappointed in Joe Biden. Very disappointed. What does he do? Just sits lying on the beach doing nothing. There are people that like Biden, but I think people are waking up to say, hey, all these promises, and what has happened? Nothing. You see, it's a long weekend right here in Australia, and I'm sitting outside, and I thought, somewhere different. And just to sit up and look at the stars, right? is just amazing. And to get out here and have a show, a podcast, live audio, and share my views to everything that's going on and what I've seen and what I've learned in my life was actually quite a blessing to have today. But this is the problem we have. With the Reserve Bank of Australia, okay, not doing their job in helping people. Could Australia be ending up, or Sydney, be ending up like San Francisco soon? We could be. With the way things are going, economically, we are heading in that direction, and it's quite bad, because how can we be going that way? Okay. So this is our Australia that we are living with right now. And I think that the more, we as a society start to question these problems, we definitely have a right to have these questions answered. On my show, I ask a lot of questions for a reason, because my questions are very important into what's going on. The weather right now is 12.8 degrees Celsius. It feels like 11.3 degrees Celsius. Minimum of 8 degrees, top of 19 degrees tomorrow. No rain, so it's partly cloudy. A little cold tonight. Managed to get some laundry done. Tomorrow, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 8 degrees, top of 19 degrees. No rain. Monday, sunny, partly cloudy, low 7 degrees, top of 19 degrees, no rain. Tuesday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 4 degrees Celsius, top of 18 degrees Celsius, no rain. Wednesday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 10 degrees Celsius, top of 18 degrees Celsius, no rain. Thursday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 5 degrees Celsius, top of 17 degrees Celsius, no rain. Friday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 5 degrees Celsius, top of 17 degrees Celsius, no rain. Saturday, sunny, partly cloudy, a low of 5 degrees Celsius, top of 17 degrees Celsius, no rain. Forecasted. Why is it that every year, it was the last long weekend that we had, where we had all that rain and all that flood? You remember that? It was, and the media, for some reason, always stir up a big drama about flood. All the time, they always have to stirring up trouble and basically, yeah, it just becomes a media hype with natural disasters that are happening here. I start to question, well, where is our elbow on all these issues? You know that? So this is, unfortunately, the Australia that we have had to put up with right now. And so for me, I feel I just feel like we need a platform to speak on. Okay, we need a voice and a right to be heard as well. And so that's pretty much what has happened as well. The current economy is in a lot of really hard times with what we are living in. Okay. The issues that we face are very challenging for us. And so that's the problem we've got right now. All I ever wanted to do on this show was just tell the truth and get the truth out there to people, because we definitely need it. And it's just all about just taking that self-care for yourself. And, knowing that I believe that things will be getting better soon. They may not look like it now, but they will. And so this is the challenges that we are facing. I think it was today or yesterday, I was watching this bird, all right? And do you guys ever have those times where you have an animal that's your spirit guide? Always keep seeing this same bird. I think it's one of those, not an Indian miner, but do you ever get a certain animal or something that just follows you? I mean, that's how I feel at times. Like, that's, I can edit that out, guys. So that silence will get edited out. Just had to do something quick. That's the, yeah, problems that we have today. We have problems spiritually, but I suppose whatever spirit guide or animal that you have is your spirit guide. It it makes life an interesting journey in the long run. Okay. I feel that it comes as just like a bit of an extra help for something that is there. But I will, in troubling economic uncertain times that we live now, I do see that have people turned more to the spiritual side of life. Because I certainly did. 10 years ago, I never ever was, never ever practicing gratitude. Um, until the COVID pandemic came, I certainly did hear about gratitude from Bob Proctor's work. In my experience, I did used to pray when I was younger, but prayers never became answered. But I've had to learn to just, trust in the universe, trust spiritually what's going on. just when you have self-belief, when you start to believe in yourself. Sorry, guys. I just dropped my lighter. Fuck's sakes. But, self-belief. These last 2 years, 3 years, I've really had to start believing in myself, because when you believe in yourself, your whole mindset and all your thinking becomes better. I've suffered quite a lot with, and I'll be honest, with my mental health challenges, depression, anxiety, obviously the autism as well. Some people have said and commented that I'm different. Myself, I come from a broken family that split up. But for me, having that, the passion to do something and that drive to do something is where I stand. Obviously, people, have struggled with the cost of living crisis that's happened. That's economic, and can't change it, of course. But for me, when I'll be open in mornings practicing gratitude. And back 10 years ago, I started looking into Deepak Chopra, his workshops. Very good man, spiritual man. Then you have Sadhguru. He was on Joe Rogan podcast as well. It seems, people have started to look more into the spiritual side of life. And I look back in my journey, people with disabilities have a right to free education and a right to go to university. I was always labelled, because of my problems I have, that I wasn't going to do it. I struggled, and at my age now, could I do another degree? No, I couldn't. 10 years ago, I was in a different place, body-wise, mental-wise. I would say I was more alert for that study environment. Now, if you would tell me to do it, I'd say I couldn't do it. And I thought, look, I was 21 years old, and I thought it's now or never. And I made a decision to go and achieve a Bachelor of Music, and people with disabilities can go and get a university degree and get high-paying jobs, start their own companies. And so, I faced a lot of challenges, but I'll overcome them. And it's just about hanging in there. That's why social media especially is something that I've really cut back from it, because I'm prioritizing my time for my new album and new music video as well. So that's what I'm doing today, right now. Yeah, so these a lot of these questions I do have, and oh, good. Ash fell in the ashtray. Good, not on the seat. And it's absolutely our right to pretty much have questions and question our political system, but the Democrats don't want you doing that. They pretty much hate it when you question their system and their beliefs as well, because there are bad people out there. Oh shit! But, you know, people would backstab me, ripped me off, cheated me behind my back. You know, I've had to learn to forgive them, forgive my parents as well. I mean, you can forgive people doesn't mean you need to talk to them. But when you forgive and you let go, and that's it. And I guess just let karma take over. But you know, from looking at the current political system in America now, I would hope that, yeah, Donald Trump can get re-elected as president. I wish the courts would just drop all these charges that are just stupid and made up. And Dr. Phil was admitted. How does he put up with it? You know, the guy's a millionaire. He's got a family as well. He can retire and go and play golf. And that's great. But he has a vision for America, make America great again, at that patriot view, you know, like Abraham Lincoln in those days. George Washington, you know, Benjamin Franklin. Wouldn't you want countries just to have peace with each other? See, since Biden took over, all of a sudden, this Israel and Hamas war started. Terrorists. For what I know, there could be terrorists in Australia right now planning something which is bad, and this needs to stop. America as well, since this has happened, people have supported terrorist organizations and protesting against. And then why isn't the police force doing anything about it? Yet terrorist organizations are allowed to have their own Facebook page. Israel Folau, who was a Mormon, what happens? He gets sacked by Rugby Australia. Sued him for a lot of money for compensation. He had to. So this is our world that we live in today. Right now. Yeah, and these issues need to be spoken about. And yet the current education system is brainwashing kids. It's worse since I went to school. teaching about LGBTQ rights and left. I mean, come on. Confusing teenagers going through puberty. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You know, and obviously going through puberty is a challenging time through your life for everyone. But for the medical system to be doing this is just really, really disgusting, in my opinion. Giving puberty blockers and the current education system encouraging this. And this is what is going on today. Banks as well controlling people now. Albo wants to introduce a digital ID. It's control, and I saw it from the beginning when iPhones first got released. Who can remember, when the first iPhone came out? From Steve Jobs, not Steve. Was it Steve Jobs at the time or something? I couldn't give a shit. He can fuck off as well. You see, the truth comes out eventually. And all of a sudden you hear of a politician resigning. Does start to create some suspicion out there as to why they would want to resign all of a sudden in politics. Yeah, I just get fed up with all the control that's going on. Just being told how I should be thinking. Banning certain content, taking content down. It affects every single creative industry out there. Cancel culture, of course. Something's got to change. Conspiracy theories that people are going to believe that there's no scientific evidence to back it up. As well, which is just not cool. And so it is my right and your right to question all these global world issues that are going on today. I will encourage all my listeners to support free speech, believe in freedom of speech, and just keep supporting small businesses to try and keep our economy going, because our economy is important, and getting our gas inflation down to 1 to 2%. Those were the good old days. So And it's important for us Australians, Americans, whatever nationality you are, to speak up in what you believe in. And know that, we have a right to question everything. As well. I just get fed up of all the corruption going on. And how on earth has the whole world just gone to shit? Is the problem we have. And that's what I'd like to know. As to, how we can make change for once. And that's why it's important to have our sport as well. For me, it's all about going to the footy. Just to get away from everything, the video games, podcast, writing music, going for a bike ride as well. And just basically supporting free speech. But what I don't like in sport is when sport wants to get all political about stuff. I mean, that to me is just it's just not cool at all. So I encourage, just because you have a disability, you do have a right to free education. I mean, I believe everyone has a right to free education, free university degrees, subsidised education, because it's a blessing to earn a bachelor's degree. And look, I'm a lifelong learner. I will always keep learning. I will never stop learning till the day I die. Because that's what I believe in, guys. And it's important to, have the truth within us. Because that's how I see it. Self-belief is important. And, knowing that only going to live once, and there's no point getting scared of everything out there. Because I used to have a lot of anxiety when I was younger. But now I've had to learn to just accept things as they are. can't be scared of every single disease out there from the media and what they do to scare us all, which they will try. But what we can do is just be the best that we can be. And, you know, I thought I'd leave it there for today's show. I really felt called to do this, by the way. It was just nice to relax, chill, have a cigar, relax, and be the best that we can be. And that's what we got to do. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please subscribe to the Stephen Shields radio show. I'm currently doing the live social audio on Rumble, so definitely join in, leave any comments, share any of your favourite episodes on social media. I wish everyone a good night. Bye for now.